Yes, lads, we are back for another episode, which is actually the new season. We finished the last season on stream, and it was a bit of a crash fest. I mean, Perez crashed out in Vegas, and then we go over to Pato O'Ward, who decided to do the same thing. They both crashed out in Vegas. We had one spare chassis before the race. Both of them crashed out. Both of them damaged the chassis. So lo and behold, we have to pay 2.2 mil for an emergency manufacture. Not ideal. Frustrating, not ideal. The problem is, though, we didn't have another chassis spare. So we crashed again, and bish bosh boom, we owe another 2.2 million. There's 3 races to go, and we've damaged 3 chassis. So that's 4.4 million down the drain in 2 of the last 3 races. And Sergio Perez decides to crash out again. So he did it in the sprint race. Now he did it in the main race. So now that's 6.6 million. So that we had enough parts to go for the final race of the season. I thought they might crash once, so we'll have one spare. They crashed 4 times, and 6.6 million went down the drain. We did eventually get a point in the final race of the season, where we finished P10, and yeah, on to the new season. Yes, lads, you did just see Sergio Perez crash out 3 times in 3 races and make us buy 3 new chassis. Annoying, very annoying, and it cost us a lot of money. But at the end of the season, we did finish P8. We kind of knew that about 5 races ago. It was going to be very difficult to catch Williams. And if you have a look at the board confidence, they were not happy with us. It was actually they were going to fire us. But I have downloaded an editor to make sure that they keep us. I mean, I thought about it, and I was like, do I want to get sacked and go to Haas, Sauber, wherever they're going to tell me to go? No. I wanted to stay at Bamford MB Racing. I wanted to bring him to the top. So I downloaded an editor just to up the board confidence. And I'll also be changing around the calendar as well to add a little bit of variety. So it's going to make the next season a little bit more interesting. And we'll actually get to keep our job. So let's get into it. 51 points for Perez, 9 points for Pato O'Ward. And I should say as well, Lando Norris and Red Bull obviously won the championship again. I mean, those guys just keep winning it. But let's have a look. Did we get fired or did we keep our job? No, they love it. We've kept our job. They actually gave us 1.5 million because I did put it up to the max just to make sure that I kept the job. But we're into the new season and we are still the manager or the team principal of this team. We're going to get to the next season and then I'm going to switch around the calendar and we'll show you what updates we have. Target for next season is finish 8th in the Constructors. I want to be inside the top 5 personally. And getting a few podiums along the way. We did well on the cost cap last year. We should have money, really, to be able to spend. We had a big chassis upgrade. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see where we fare compared to the rest of the grid. The front wing was something that we didn't do research on. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, let's go to Ferrari. They got a bit more power. The reliability might be a little less. Don't know what's going on there. The starting balance should not be minus 6.6 mil. Okay, we're minus 6.4 because we haven't done the sponsorship yet. Which are we going to pick? I think we go right here. I want the upfront cost here. I'm not going to lie. Total funded at the start, 80 million, 31 mil upfront. Oh my God, we're going to cook. So we're in a new season and you can see we're in Australia. So I have edited the calendar. The calendar does look very, very different. If we go race by race, so we go Melbourne, Suzuka, Baku, Barcelona, Montreal. The races are all mixed up. And we finish the season with Vegas and then Brazil. I think we've included 3 sprint races in there somewhere. I can't exactly remember. But it is mixed up. And also, the team colours are different. We've gone for the turquoise and white. So we changed the team colours because I didn't want to look like that green trash can of a Sauber. And if you have a look here, look at that. That's the car that we're looking at. It looks lovely. Here it is. It is the car. Look at that. Turquoise, black, white. It looks nice. I like it. Looks sweet. I think it looks better than the previous year's car. And also, it should be more out there on the track. We're not going to be confused with a Sauber and our car. It's their own unique car. Miami Beach vibe. We look good. And look at this. High speed, by the way. We are number 1 in. The rest, we're kind of middle of the range. High speed, number 1. So it could be a very good start to the year. Especially in Melbourne as well. It's a high-speed track. Who knows? Maybe our first podium is on the horizon. Looking at the major changes, we got Verstappen back in the Red Bull. He's the number 2 in that Red Bull now behind Lando Norris. That'll be interesting. Sargent keeps his seat in McLaren. You got Leclerc, Hamilton, Bottas, Sainz. Pretty much most of it stayed the same. Tsunoda, Ricciardo, Lawson and Drogovic in the Aston Martin. So Lawson back into Formula 1. Fernando Alonso has gone to Williams. He's left Red Bull to go to Williams, who are working their way up the grid last year. Perez and Pato in our car. Porsche, K-Mag, Lance Stroll, Guan Yu Zhou, and then Albon and Esteban Ocon. So pretty much most of it is very similar to what it finished like last season. I think both our drivers are still going to be in here as well. Yeah, you see Beganovic right there, and I'm sure Bortoletto is in there somewhere. Antonelli and Hadjar both in Trident. That looks like a sick team. Those two guys are going to cook. We did scout Lewis Hamilton. He's got 11 months left in his contract. If we somehow win the championship, maybe we'll bring him into the team. But we did do a couple upgrades. You can see here we've got the front wing coming in, and then also a side pods upgrade coming before Melbourne. It's going to be interesting. I think we should be in the fight for decent points. I think we should. I mean, we might... Last year, I think I said something similar, and we went out there and we were like P18, P19. I've got more confidence this year. The high speed looks good. It's a high-speed track. I'm saying one of the drivers top 5, maybe. Post-Bahrain testing results say we're 5th in the high speed, 13th medium speed, 17th low speed. Okay, we are getting a new front wing on the car, so we should be a little faster through the low speed. Tyre preservation is a problem. I'll tell you what, this is good. I like what I'm seeing here. It's better than usual. It means we should be decent in Australia. We have to be. We can't not be decent. We've got to bring in the front wing. We've already got 2 of, but we're going to add an extra 2 to be manufactured just so we got spare for when we crash, because these drivers love a crash every now and then. It looks good. I'm actually excited. Let's compare ourselves to Mercedes. I think that's a good team to compare ourselves. Hello! Look at the top speed, acceleration, DRS. The high speed, we're better than. We're going to be competitive. We are going to be competitive. I'm excited. We're going into the first race of the season, and look at this. Race targets, they're already saying 7th, 9th, 11th. Love to see it. We're going to go 9th, because I'm still not 100% sure of where we're going to finish. So we're going to make sure that we say somewhere in the middle road. So we're going to say 8th and 9th. It's looking good. If we're consistently getting into points, that means there might be a podium on the way. There might be a race win on the way, and we're on the way up. So it looks good. All the signs are telling me top 10. If we go out there and we're out in Q1, I might cry. It's time to find out if we're on the way up or not. Let's have a look at this car. Look at this car. This car looks bloody lovely as it comes out of the pits. That is beautiful. All right, let's be the first ones out of the track with Sergio Perez. Let's see what we got. It's going to be a good benchmark as well, because Lando Norris is starting a lap behind us as Guan Yu Zhou pulls out the pits. You little rat. You little rat. I can't... Oh my God. And Alpine's done it. Okay, well, into the pits we go. This is... I can't believe that's just happened. No. We've got another flying lap, and we've been held up by an Alpine now. We are actually taking the piss. We're taking the piss. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Good to go.
Well, we're going to finish the laps anyway, because we're going to have to go out one more time regardless. Perez in the drop zone.
We're P17.
Pato goes up to P6. Okay, Pato was the one that was blocked as well. Come on, Perez. We need an improvement. You cannot get knocked out in Q1. Not with this car. Not with seeing Pato Award up in P8. That is a dodgy place to move out the way once again. I don't know. We've got Ocon maybe that's going to be in our way now. Alonso. Oh my God. There's still drivers that are going to be in our way. We actually could be mugged off here. We could be heading out in Q1 because drivers can't get out the way. Okay, the Sauber got out the way nicely there. We've just got Alonso. We've just got Alonso, who's probably going to park it on the apex to make sure we can't get through. Get out the way. Okay, he's out the way. Perez, you should be good. You should be okay to make it into Q2. He does. Oh my God, that was stressful. Look at that pace though. That pace, P9, P12 in Q1. We could be getting into Q3. That confirms what I was thinking with potential points. Oh my God. We're on a flyer lap with both drivers here. We're on a flyer lap with both drivers. And, yeah. I started them way too close together. We're going to tell Pato, just let him go. Just let him go. Because he did actually give him a really nice slipstream. And, but I think we should have probably made that decision a little bit earlier. Perez up to the line. There's a 1:16.8. I don't know what sort of time that is. It's a 10th behind Verstappen. Maybe it was a genius move to do the slipstream. Because Perez might actually be through because of it. All right, it's crunch time. Let's get into it. We've got Pato Award starting a lap as well as Sergio Perez. And we'll see exactly what we can do. I don't think there's any traffic. There's no traffic. Okay, can both drivers find a way into Q3? Pato, 25.7. Perez on old tyres does a 25.9. He's struggling a little bit. Pato is not. Pato is on a good lap. Is it going to be enough for a double Q3 in the opening race of the season? Perez will not improve. Pato award. Oh, P5. We had the slipstream. Is it enough for both drivers? It is enough. It's double Q3. Oh, we're cooking up something this year. We are cooking up something juicy. It's a 16.4 for Pato, which is a 16.2 for Verstappen, who was the fastest in this session. Only a couple tenths off. Final lap. We're underway. We've actually got a really nice slipstream for both drivers. Perez, good distance behind the McLaren. Pato, good distance behind Perez. Can both of them improve? We're up against the Ferraris here. The Williams of Gasly finds himself up in P4. We've got Alpine in P10. I mean, it's a good mixture. We have no Mercedes in Q3. I just clocked it. No Mercedes, one McLaren. We're on fire. It's a 20. Oh, my God. We're cooking. Both drivers are improving. Something's happening. Pato could go ahead of Gasly here. Maybe even Piastri, but I'm sure Piastri is putting in some PBs. It's double green for both the drivers. Up to the line. Perez, P5. Pato, he outdoes Perez. He's up in a P5. It's going to be P5 and 6. Unless Hamilton can do anything about it or Pierre Gasly. I think Hamilton's done his lap. And Gasly is finishing up as we speak. Gasly up to the line to ruin the party. He can't do anything about it. A P5, P6 is a third row lockout. Oh, my goodness me. What a lap. Leclerc up at P1. What a lap from Charles Leclerc, just ahead of Verstappen, who is back in Formula 1. But we're fighting it with the big boys. We are there. It's saying this is the fastest strategy. I guess we've split it a little bit. Going to softs to start with for Pato. Mediums for Perez. Pato is just a little bit ahead, so it might make a little bit of sense as well. Just for him to go flat out at the start. And really go for the push. And Perez just behind, just kind of do his thing. Stick behind Pato. Obviously push. It's uncharted territory. We're not used to being this high up on the grid. P5, P6. If we get decent points position, there's going to be drivers on the grid looking around going, okay, maybe this team is decent. Maybe I do want to move there next year. And we can find different drivers in our car. But as for now, it's Pato Award and Sergio Perez who are bringing the team forward. What a start. We're already ahead of the reigning world champion in Lando Norris. Is it going to be after turn 1 and 2? No, Norris gets back ahead. But what a start. Pato back ahead again. We're in the big leagues now. We're going to be fighting for a podium maybe this race. We haven't seen the race pace actually from this car. The qualifying pace, lovely. Race pace, haven't seen it yet. But both drivers are past the reigning world champion in lap 1. That's things you'll love to see. Go on, mate. Let Verstappen know that since he's been gone, Pato Award is the driver. Look at him go. He's up in a P3. We could lead the race soon. Oh, my days. So drivers around us. Leclerc started on the mediums. Verstappen, Piastri on the softs. Pato's flying. We're leading the Grand Prix. We are leading the Australian Grand Prix. Oh, my goodness me. What is going on? The new regulations have just allowed us to become one of the best teams on the grid, apparently. We're P1, P5. We're cooking. We're cooking early doors. It is DRS trades everywhere. We are on the soft tyres. So we do have to be a bit careful. Our tyre wear clearly is worse than the other teams. I mean, 89% already for Sergio Perez. Yes, actually, his tyres look like they're running on lava right now. They're 116 degrees and definitely hurting the tyre wear. As Verstappen doing Verstappen things, shoves Leclerc off the track. And Leclerc's gone from P2 down to P5. And he's lost DRS, actually. We could lose Charles Leclerc. Oh, my goodness me. Verstappen's causing carnage already. It's his first race back in Formula 1. Don't be phased by Verstappen, mate. Do not be phased. Look at that. Don't be phased by Verstappen. We got 3 cars that have kind of broken away. Leclerc, 4.5 seconds behind now. That is a big margin. We just need to work together. These 4 cars work together, get away from the rest of the grid. And we could be on maybe a double podium, maybe a race win. Oh, my God. How have we broken away from Verstappen? What is going on? Pato's gone. Pato is gone. Sergio Perez is up in a P3. Are we in dreamland? Are we? What has happened? Pato's gone up the road. He's legged it. He's gone. This We're P1, P2. We're going to have Perez always defend. Try your best. Defend against these two. Let Pato go. Pato could be up for a race win. This would be the first race win ever. This would be a first podium ever. Wow, we're 4 seconds clear. Sergio Perez playing the team game. Do the hold up. You helped Max Verstappen in 2021. Ruin his chances today for a comeback of the century. And just park the bus. Give your teammate time. This is lovely. Okay, Verstappen's got through a Perez and he's just gone on an absolute charge. He is after Pato O'Ward. He's having no more of it. But as soon as I saw it as a high-speed track, I was like, okay, it's going to suit our car. Didn't think it would suit it this much. This is actually ridiculous. Pato O'Ward 4.5 seconds up the road after 8 laps. Crazy. Craziness as Piastri goes for the move. Can't quite get it done. But Verstappen has got away from Perez. So Verstappen using up his tyres, using up his pace a little bit now. He's had enough. He's had enough of the Pato party. And he's trying to get back involved. Piastri trying to get the move done on Perez. Perez defending well. He's used up all of his ERS. But we're at the point now where Pato, what you're doing is unbelievable. Keep it up. Lawson up in P5. That Aston Martin's got something about it. The crazy part about all of this for me is how spread out every team is. You've got Verstappen in P2, but Norris down in P9. I don't know how he's dropped that far back as Perez gets the move done in Piastri. You've got Piastri 4th, Sargent 13th, Leclerc 5th, Hamilton 8th, Gasly 6th, Alonso 20th. I don't know how that's happened. Lawson 7th, Dragovic 13th. So everybody's spread out, and then we've got us 1 and 3. Verstappen has gone for an early pit. He's pitted onto the mediums. He's got Stroll ahead of him, and then he might get held up a little bit. I mean, there's some medium runners out there that are going to hold him up now that I look at it. So I'm not too worried about this undercut. I want to say Pato, if he could come out around Pourchaire, that would actually be perfect. There is a lot of cars that still need to pit, though. That is the only problem. We do want him to go maybe another lap or two to kind of fit the tactic, to fit the strategy, as Perez gets overtaken again. How have you got overtaken again? Sort it out, mate. Piastri pits. Perez stays out. I don't know when we pit Pato, to be fair. Verstappen's on the back of Stroll. We should be able to dispatch with Stroll pretty quickly. It's the train of Zhou, or I mean, more people pit, which is kind of help him out. I feel like I should probably pit this lap, actually. I feel like I should definitely pit this lap, just to try and kind of cover that off. Plus, these tyres are getting killed. We're not used to being this high up. So, we're going to pit this lap with Pato. He should still come out ahead of Verstappen by quite some distance. Verstappen gets past Lance Stroll as Pato's in the pits. Decent pit stop, 2.9. We will take that. And where do we come out? We should be miles ahead. Verstappen down the straight now. Pato out ahead of Albon. Let's go. That's huge. That is huge. We're ahead of Alex Albon. So we've got Albon and Zhou covering off Verstappen right now for us. And kind of blocking the way. We've got a bit of free air. This is perfect. We've got 2 cars. Albon and Zhou. Both on old mediums. Using DRS off each other. And holding Verstappen up. It couldn't be more perfect. I think Piastri might even join that fight pretty soon. If they're going to keep holding each other up. As long as they don't pit. Just don't pit. Beautiful stuff. Verstappen's going to have to use all his ERS if he wants to make the move. But the DRS, he just can't get it done. And it's working in our favour big time. As we're now 2.2 seconds up the road. Or 5.7 seconds up the road, sorry. From Guan Yu Zhou, Verstappen's lost how many seconds? He's lost about 3 seconds sitting behind these guys. And he's still losing seconds as Piastri is now on the back of him as well. This has got a race win written all over it. There's no way it can't be a race win. Perez is going to come into the pits at the end of the lap onto a set of hards as well. I don't see how it can't be a race win. We're a whole pit stop ahead of Lando Norris. We've just overtaken the reigning champion, who's a whole pit stop behind us. What dreamland are we in? This is mental. Norris finally pits. Pato O'Ward is now 9.1 seconds up the road because Zhou and Albon turned into the Minister of Defence. They just don't like Verstappen. So they said, nah, we're blocking the whole road. And he lost about 5-6 seconds behind him. Probably even more, actually. 7 seconds, 7-8 seconds. And now he's 9 seconds back. This is the time when we don't want a yellow flag. We don't want a safety car. We don't want none of that. We want a nice, easy, smooth ending, because this might be one of the only chances we get for a race win. Yes, our car looks rapid, but it showed it was only under high speed. Australia is a very high-speed track. So when we go to a place like Monaco, we're not going to have the same success. So let's make sure we get the race win here. Miles ahead right now. Pato extending his lead. I mean, Verstappen is on old mediums, but we genuinely look like the fastest car out there. We look like the fastest car out there. Perez closing it on Piastri. It could very well be a 1-2 today. There is a good chance of it. Verstappen into the pits. I'm assuming, yeah, he's choked on the hard tyres. Verstappen pitted onto a set of hards and he's out behind Hamilton. It's really not going his way. Every time he comes out, oh my God. Gasly's got through on him. You can't let that happen, Max, otherwise you're in big trouble. Wow. Verstappen is not going his way at all. He's out in P10. He's being held up by Hamilton and Gasly. If he would have got ahead of them, he would have been fine. But it's just really not going his way today. He is stuck behind these two. That's going to help Perez big time. And also Pato. Verstappen got through. He got through eventually. He had enough. We're closing in on Piastri. Norris is actually closing in on us on fresh hards. So going that extra bit longer at the start seemed to have helped him out in the battle for P2 as Perez getting inside that 1 second margin of Sergio Perez. Not Sergio Perez. Sergio Perez getting inside of that 1 second margin of Oscar Piastri so he can get that DRS. If he just gets in it and he gets DRS 3 times around the track, we're cooking. Verstappen's running 22.7 compared to Perez 23.5, Pato 24.1. He's not going to undercut Pato as Piastri comes into the pits. Perez is going to go another like 5-6 laps, so he's good. He's just got to worry about Norris behind him, who's also probably going to go an extra 5-6 laps because he started on the mediums as well. He's got fresher hards, which isn't ideal. Should be all right. Maybe if we work together. Verstappen all over the back of Sargent. Sargent doing his bit, holding Verstappen up. Piastri comes out just behind Verstappen. So that gives us a good idea of where Perez would come out. But Perez obviously wanting to be on that fresher rubber, fresher softs at the end of the race. Everything is showing me to a double podium. Norris is the only outlier that I'm most worried about here. I'm more worried about Norris than Verstappen or Piastri. Pato's got such a nice gap. We're going to pit him onto a set of mediums now. Pretty much confirm the win because he'll come out just behind Norris, ahead of Piastri and Verstappen, who are really going at it. And Piastri on a set of mediums, to be fair. He will be a little bit dangerous. He should have a bit of pace. If Verstappen keeps fighting him, that'll kind of get rid of any danger. I just can't believe we're in the position that we're in. We're 1-2 around Melbourne. We were scrapping for P10 last race in Abu Dhabi. So for it to all switch around like this is absolutely mental. We are in Melbourne, high-speed track. It's really helping our car big time. I just hope that we can go to a different track and it be very, very similar. And then I know we're in a championship fight as Pato pits onto a set of mediums. Good pit stop. Perez, he momentarily took the lead of the race. Pato miles ahead of Oscar Piastri, just coming out at the start of the straight. And that all but cements a race win, in my opinion. Perez is struggling. Going to have to play the team game here, though. He's going to have to get out of the way. Don't fight your teammate. Get out of the way. There you go. Play the team game. Love to see that from Sergio. Pato getting on with it. Not that he needs help, but we just didn't want the two to fight. So we're getting a move on. Pato's who's coming up under the back of Lando Norris very, very shortly. Sergio Perez, I think we have to pit him at the end of the lap, to be honest. We'll have to pit him onto a set of softs, and he can go on the charge. Norris has pulled away just a little bit. He's got to be pitted soon, surely. I mean, if he lets us, he doesn't want to battle us. You'd think if he's a smart guy, he'd pit at the end of this lap. No, he stays out. Perez pits to try and get the undercut done on him. I don't know what you're defending here, mate, but we're going to go for a good old fastest lap. So let's go for it. Get the fastest lap again with Pato. I'm sure Sergio will have something to say about that in a minute, as he's got a load of clear air to catch up to Verstappen. 11 seconds. It's a lot of time, but you're on the soft tyres. Lando Norris staying out, which kind of surprises me, because that's going to allow the undercut from Sergio Perez to be successful. And I'll tell you what, we'll allow Sergio Perez to go for fastest lap back on Pato Award to see if he can take it away. He's ran out of ERS at the very end of the lap. Is it still enough? It should be. He's on a set of softs. You'd think it would be. It's not. Pato Award keeps the fastest lap. Wow, wow, wow. There we go. He finally pits. He finally pits. He should actually still come out miles ahead of Logan Sargent. So he's going to have free air. He's just lost a lot of time. He's going to go very aggressive now. 7.5 seconds, 8 seconds, 8.5 seconds. Back to Perez. That's a lot of time. A lot of time. He should take fastest lap, though. Hamilton's got a puncher. What is he doing? Is he just sat out on old tyres? He's down in P19 in a Ferrari. He's going to be P21. Oh, my God, Lewis. What are you doing? We don't want you in our team if you're doing that. Perez really pushing the pace. Trying to catch up to Verstappen. It's not... It's going to be difficult. It looks like more like Norris is catching Perez more than Perez is catching Verstappen right now. Here we go. Perez has caught him. Perez is up behind Verstappen. I think he might be a little bit too far back to catch Piastri. You've got 4.5 seconds. We've got to get this move done as soon as possible. Get it done. On the I think he's 3-time on this. 3-time world champion. We're trying to pull out of his DRS. We can't. We just can't. It's Australia. He gets 3 doses of DRS. Well, I think it's 4, actually. We're never going to be able to get away from him. Okay, save up as much ERS as you can before the final lap here, otherwise you're in trouble. It's us versus the 2 Red Bulls. Come on, Sergio. Show us what you got, mate. Norris down the inside of Verstappen. Probably not what we wanted. Norris is on the best tyres out of all of us. He's on the best tyres out of all of us. Okay, we're saving up as much ERS as possible. I'd actually rather want to be behind going on to the last lap. As looking at that, we probably could have pit Pato a lap prior. Maybe to go to softs and take fastest lap, but I think he's got it anyway. So Pato's going to win the race. Perez is fighting for his life against Lando Norris for a podium. It's Sergio Perez against his old team on the final lap. It looks like Lando Norris has the best chance of getting a podium. As Lando Norris does get the move done, or does he? Sergio Perez says no. He's got something to prove to his old team, as he's got to do it on another couple straights. This is going to be very, very difficult for him to hold this out. As there's 2 more major straights for Lando Norris to get this done. This is one of them. Lando Norris on Sergio Perez. He can't find a way through just yet. Has he got it done? No, he hasn't. Sergio Perez says no. He's literally pushing him around the track. You got one more straight, really. This is the straight. We didn't tell him to defend. We actually probably should have. It looks like Lando Norris is going to send it. Is it going to be enough? Lando Norris takes the podium away on the final lap from Sergio Perez. It's heartbreak. We didn't get to see, but Pato Award wins the race. Can Perez at least hold on to a P4 against Red Bull in what could be a big constructors fight come the end of the year? It is going to be a P1 and a P4. It's a dream result. It is a dream result. When I was thinking a P5, P6 would be an unbelievable result. It's a P1 and a P4. Could have been a double podium, but Norris takes it on the last lap. He did well, extending his stint. That way he could go on the softs at the end and really go aggressive. But what a day it is for Pato Award, the man that we started this team with. He's only got to won his first Grand Prix in the first race of Season 3. I wanted to see him on top of the podium. It didn't let me. Anyway, Pato Award takes the race win and the fastest lap. So that's... Oh, they took away fastest lap this year. Why'd they do that? Why have they done that? Okay, so it's 25 points for Pato Award, 12 for Sergio Perez, and we got more points in this one race than we did the whole of, I think, probably the last 2 seasons combined. It's nuts. 37 points, and we lead the Constructors and the Drivers' Championship. It is a dream start. We still haven't got any points in this, though. What are we doing over here, boys? P1 in the Constructors, P1 in the Drivers as well. I don't know how often we're going to be able to say that this season, so we're going to make the most of it after race 1. We go to Japan next, which is actually a decent track for us as well. It looks like it's going to be raining on the Saturday. Quite heavy rain, actually, in the sprint. So it's a sprint weekend as well. It's one of the 3 that I selected. So the Saturday will be interested in the wet. We'll see how we can fare. And you can kind of see the rest of the grid here. We'll go to Baku, Barcelona, Montreal, Miami, Mexico, Jeddah. Abu Dhabi's in the middle of the season, same with Qatar. So it's going to be interesting, but it looks like we're going to be in a fight for the championships. So make sure you guys go ahead, leave a like, subscribe. Also, check out the Twitch channel as well, because I will be doing some races on there. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace.